Hello everyone, Rare Model Reviews here, and at long last, we are finally doing a model review after what has been, well, months of me not doing one. So, this is a bit of an awkward one for me to review as, due to some technical difficulties that I see, I was not able to show off the unboxing of these guys. However, eventually when I get a new editing software for my computer, I will eventually have that unboxing up so you guys will be able to catch up on what you missed months ago, where I kind of fudged that unboxing, and as a result I kind of have the footage for it but have to splice it together with the other stuff to even put it out. But moving along here, so with this being a twin set, basically it came with two balls, because literally if it was just one ball, well, they'd have to charge like $2 for it or something, because it just wouldn't be worth it, as these things were super quick to build. I was able to build both of these things in one sitting, as you could probably guess. So before I get on to the nitty gritty, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I really didn't do any painting here. All I did was line this guy, or these guys. I did do one little thing that you might be able to notice if I bring them up here. So one of them, I didn't paint the cockpit here. As you can see, it's got a clear green piece for it. The other one I did. So as you can see, this one's a bit darker, so it's a little hard to see in there and whatnot. I'm still debating on which one looks better, so that's why I did one and one without. But besides that, all I really did was line these guys. I believe in the little piece here, I colored those in because I believe they weren't any color at all. They're just the same color as the outside of it, but again, just really some lining here and there. So little grooves there, dots in the arms, lines all around this thing, what have you. I did that just so things will pop a little bit, so hopefully it came out well. But moving on along here, I am going to go ahead and take this thing out of his cradle here, which I'll go over in a second with this guy here, and we'll go ahead and get into articulation. So the recoilless cannon here can go 360, move up and down a little bit. Oh, apparently pop off the head there. So I guess make sure that's in there sturdily and what have you. Well, as you can see here, this part here is not on very well, so that came right off. So articulation's all right for this thing. Nothing to write home about. For the most part, it'll get the job done. The arm here, it can wiggle around a little bit here. Same for the other arm. Oh, apparently cannot move at that point. As you can see there, arm can kind of ratchet up and down like so. The little hands can spin 360 around like that. And this is where it has a little interesting joint, as this part here you can push it in to kind of lock the arm in place. So as you can see here, it doesn't really move much at all, but then when you kind of spin it out, as you can see now, there's some rotation to it. It can also pop out. So maybe there's a little bit you could do with it like that, but for most part you want to more so just kind of leave it locked in. That way you don't have to worry about the arm popping off at all. So that's really it for articulation. I colored in the bottom of the thrusters here. I didn't really quite get into those grooves, they're really shallow, but you're mostly going to see this block with the cradle it sits on. But again, I did it just for the sake of it. So getting on to the other ball, obviously it's got the same articulation. It's called a twin set for a reason after all, so obviously they're the same thing. There's literally nothing different about them at all. So the only unique thing really is going to be the machine guns here. So they can move, and in my opinion, a lot more up and down than a recoilless cannon. I can try to show them both off next to each other. So as you can see, this thing can move up and down a lot more than this one does. So for articulation, I definitely have to give it to the recoilless cannon. It feels like it's a lot more you can do with it. Also want to mention, I tried to color in the camera, so I don't really have anything that really did it justice. I actually don't even have like a really good green. I have like a marker, but I couldn't put that in the new channels here. They're a little too thin, so I ended up just mixing some yellow and blue in there to try to make a green. It's not very shiny, so you probably barely tell I colored it, but I tried. Probably would have came out better on a clear piece, but this was just black plastic. There's no sticker or anything for these at all, so I wanted to have the cameras for these things, so that's how I managed to pull that off. So I also, for those of you who might ask, I tried to get these things on an action stand. There's nothing really compatible for them, so you kind of have to make do with the Kratos there. So they do their job. You just kind of put them on there and voila. As you've seen before, I guess I'll show again. Obviously you can just have them sit down on the ground. There's no issue with it, which is kind of funny because I'm sure this little issue is probably why it took them forever to even make a ball high grade. It's probably 10 years before they finally made a ball in high grade form. Also, I guess I'll go ahead and show it off too. The action stand, this thing comes with this spin around, so you could use that to spin the balls around on top of the stand there if you wanted to. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but it is a thing you can do. So I'm also going to go ahead and point out this thing came with additional cannons, so if you wanted to, you could of course take that off and put the second machine gun cannons onto it, so you could have actual twin balls here with machine guns, or you could have two lower accurate balls with the recoilless cannons as you would see in the original series, as there were no machine guns in the original series. They all had the recoilless cannons. That's kind of a retcon they did to match Infamous Team when it showed off the balls for the first time with the machine gun. So that's really about it for the balls. I can't possibly think of anything else I might have missed out on. So obviously if there's something else you guys are curious about these things that you wanted me to go over, ooh, I don't know how I pulled that off. This thing kind of came off in the cradle, but anywho. Geez, yeah, like I was saying, if there's any other questions or anything else with the ball you feel like I didn't quite cover that you're curious about, please let me know in the comments. I'll bring this thing back out for spoiler, another ball review I have in mind, which I'll then go over that stuff there. But moving on ahead, we have a simple size comparison. I'm not gonna go too crazy here. I want this to be a bit of a shorter review just because I'm anxious to just get a review out, see what you guys think of how this thing looks reviewing in a new setup here. I can already say I might have to get another camera stand because I think this thing might be a little too tall for my desk. I'll probably hang on to this in case I switch for a taller desk or something. But yeah, this thing definitely is a lot taller than I thought it was. I tried to play around with it, but I can't quite get this thing to go. Maybe I'll fiddle on it one more time after this review, see if I can make do with this thing. But moving on ahead, again, this is the size comparison here. So obviously, even with the stands, this gym here just kind of towers over these balls. But that's really it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. It's been a pleasure to finally put something out. That's why I chose the balls. I know they'd be simple and short for me to review, so I get something quick and easy out for you guys that I shouldn't need to edit at all. And you just see what the feedbacks on how this thing looks. It looks pretty good from what I'm seeing compared to my phone. It probably look a little better if I had a camera that was a bit more leveled, so I could do things a little less awkwardly and clunky. As I'm sure you've seen, I had to kind of play around with their articulation a little longer than I should have, because everything wasn't quite in the frame and what have you. But again, thank you guys all so much for watching and putting up with me going months without a review, just doing mostly unboxings until I figure this stuff out. But again, post-haste, I'm going to find an editing program so I can get that going, so I could finish up the rest of these unboxings and then finally start doing more in-depth reviews on the stuff that I kind of would like to be able to edit to get a more premium video out for you guys. So again, if you enjoyed this video, you know exactly what to do. And as always, I'll see you in the next video / review.